What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today, we're going to talk about the only time I drank alcohol in the Department of Corrections when I was in the CDC. And people have asked me, different times, hey, did you drink? Did you smoke in there? Did you get high and all that? And I've answered those questions, but I've never talked about why I only drank once, other than saying I wanted to fight my Celly. So I figured I'd tell the story, and it's kind of a glimpse into who I used to be, right? So here we go. So I had got to New Folsom, and the first Celly I think I got, it was outside once I left orientation. This was my first Celly I got. They moved. I was in B1, which was orientation, A section and B1, and once I got cleared, they moved me from B1 to B7, and they moved me in with a paisa named Huayno from Jalisco. Met him, and he's from Jalisco. My family's from Jalisco, so I was like, cool. When I moved in with him, he was cool as this dude was super cool, man. And he tells me, hey, do you drink? And I said, yeah, I drink. And I go, why, what's up? And he goes, I got a batch right here. And he pulls out the box, and he had about a gallon of pruno cooking, right? And he goes, it should be done in like tomorrow or so, right? Whatever it was, tomorrow, 2 days, whatever it was. But he's like, it'll be done soon. I was like, cool. And I was lightweight excited to taste the wine that he made. I drank a lot of pruno when I was in YA and YTS especially. Not a lot, but we used to make it all the time. We worked in the bakery, so we had the yeast, the sugar, all the juice, everything. It was simple. And so I was like, cool. Now, it was like, I don't remember if it was the same day, but something happened. Something changed in how I looked at him, right? And he had got some heroin. And he came back to the cell, and he was like, hey, I just got some carga. He goes, do you use? And I was like, nah, I don't fuck around. And he goes, hey, try it. And I said, nah, I'm good, homie. I don't do that shit. And he goes, it's free, homie. I'll give you half. Just try it. And I was like, hey, Holmes, I already told you I don't fuck around with that shit. I don't use. And he's like, all right, Holmes. He goes, let me do this. He goes, and I'll tell you something. So, he goes, he fixes it up, boom, he bangs it, and he's gouged, he's loaded. And he's like, if you change your mind, he goes, let me be the one that you slam with first, eh? And I was like, yeah, I won't change my mind, Holmes. Like, that shit is big in my neighborhood. I saw what it did to my homeboys, and I didn't like it, I had homeboys that were straight, bangers, and then they turn into dope fiends or tecatos, and the neighborhood didn't matter to them, and it was getting high. So I'm cool. I don't like that shit. And I was like, but why are you so interested in me slamming with you though? And he's like, because I like to be the one that ruins people's lives the way mine got ruined. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, the vato that gave me my first fix, he goes, he fucked my life up. He goes, and I enjoy being the one to fuck other people's lives up by giving them this drug. I said, man, you're fucking scandalous. At that point, how cool he was didn't matter because he showed me he was a fucking snake, right? Imagine telling somebody straight up, my life was ruined because somebody gave me a fix. And so I always look to fuck somebody else's life up. So it was either that night or the next day. He said, hey, this pistol is going to be done today. He goes, it's done. He was in school. He used to go to school, right? So he goes, when I come back, he goes, we're going to drink this shit tonight. I was like, yeah, all right. You know, the vibe was different already now. I was like, all right. And he went to school. I wanted to go in the yard all day. Back then, you could sneak out to yard all the time whenever you wanted and shit, right? And so I'm on the yard all day, come back and, you know, get my shower on. And he comes from school, gets his shower on, kicking it. And he goes, hey, after chow, we're gonna break this down. I go, okay. Well, after chow, they decided that they wanted to do a wine sweep in the building, right? So we see the Judas coming, and I'm like, hey, Owens, they're doing a wine sweep. And he's like, fuck. He goes, hey, just stand at the door for a second. He says, just stand at the door for a second, right? Let me get this off the screen. So I go to the door. I'm not looking behind me. I'm just looking, and my neighbor's door opens. My door opens. I'm not moving until he goes, all right, go. And he goes, where's the Judas? And I'm like, they're on the bottom tier right now. And he goes, all right, let's go. So I walk out the door. My neighbors walk out, and my neighbors start laughing, right? And I was like, I don't want to turn around and look at him because the tower's looking, right? So I just keep walking. He's like, just stay in front of me, Celly. So I'm walking, boom. Go down the stairs, go down to the first tier, and then go down the other 3 stairs to the day room. I turn around to go to the day room, and I go to sit down at the first table, which was, you know, Southern and white table, right? And when I sit down, I look, my Celly, I don't know how he did it. You know, paisas can do anything. Anybody that knows. They can fucking do anything. Somehow, I don't know what he used, but he put something around his waist. He tied the bag, a gallon of pistol, to whatever he put on his waist, and then he put sweats on. Hey, you know when, like, no disrespect, but when fat people are real fat and they have like the belly, and then they have that pouch belly that hangs over like their private parts. He was skinny, but he looked like he had that pouch. Like if he had lost too much weight too fast and he just had it all like hanging right. It looked funny as fuck, eh? And he's telling everybody, hold on. He's telling everybody, just block me, eh? Just stay in the way, right? And we did. It was so fucking funny. And then we're like, how are you gonna get back? And he's like, this is my pistol. And we made it back, right? We get back to the cell. And he's like, let's break it down. So he starts straining all the wine, right? And once everything's done, he got it from one bag to the other, you know, strained everything out, everything's cool, and we start drinking. It was very good wine, right? And I had only drank one time in the county jail. So my system was clean. It didn't take much to get me buzzed, right? Now, here's the thing. Before I went to YA, and back then when I used to drink, I was a very, very bad drunk. I would get violent, right? And I can look back and say it was due to insecurities that I had. It was due to anger and hate that I had towards my parents, any authority figure. It was something that drove me. I was always a really cool dude until I started drinking, right? And then I would get pretty angry pretty quick and over nothing. But there was something that I used to do where my homeboys knew. And as soon as I would do it, they'd be like, I'm cool. I'll be back. And it was, I would get buzzed. And once I was really buzzed, I would ask one question. I would make a statement with a question in it. I would say, damn, I'm fucked up, homie. Hey, are you fucked up? And the answer was usually going to be wrong, right? Because I was going to find someone that was going to answer wrong. If I was there with 5 or 6 homies and there was one that didn't know, he was going to be the one to find out, right? I'd be like, hey, Holmes, I'm fucked up, homie. Are you fucked up? And the homies that knew already be like, I'm fucked up, Holmes. They might have only had one drink and just got there, be like, I'm fucked up, homie. This shit's strong, eh? Hey, this shit's good. Or yeah, I'm whatever. But they were going to say, yeah. Then there'd be that one that didn't know. And I'd be like, hey, what about you, homie? I'm fucked up. Are you fucked up? And we'd be like, nah, not really. The switch was on. You calling me a punk? You saying I'm a lightweight, Holmes? You can drink more than me? Boom. I'm firing on him. We're fighting now. That was how much of a fucking idiot I was and how much anger I had. We could be somewhere and there'd be somebody that wasn't from the neighborhood. I'm going to fight him. Right? And I was just a horrible drunk. Now, back to the cell in New Folsom. I'm drinking. And I'm thinking, I start thinking more, this vato's a fucking snake. This vato, he's going to try to fucking ruin any homie he sells up with, anybody he sells up with, because somebody supposedly ruined his life. I'm drinking my pistol and I'm watching him. And I just keep thinking that. And he's talking and I'm talking, but in my head, the wheels are turning. This vato's a snake. He ain't cool. Then, I don't know if it's true, but in my mind, he started drinking faster to outdrink me, to show me that he was that guy. He's a man's man, so he's pounding pistols, right? So then I start with the mouth. Hey, why are you drinking like a little kid, eh? He's older than me. But see, I was already there in my mind. So why are you drinking like a little fucking kid, eh? And he heard the tone of voice, I guess, and he saw, you can tell in somebody's eyes, eh, if they're willing to go there or not. And he was like, I'm just drinking. And I was like, nah, why you drinking all fast though? You know what I mean? Who you trying to impress? You're not going to impress me with that shit. Next thing you know, he starts throwing up. I start laughing at him. You guys already know my laugh. But what you guys don't know is when you're around me in person, my laugh is very loud. And now he's throwing up and I'm laughing at him. And I'm telling him, that's what you get for drinking like a little ass fucking kid, eh? That's what you get, you fucking little kid. I start doing that to him. He's done. He cleans up and I'm right there just talking shit. He gets on his bunk, right? And then I start telling him, what, you don't like that I'm laughing at you? Get off your bunk, Holmes. Let's get down. And he's like, hey, you know what? I'm cool, Holmes. You're pedo. Just, we'll talk in the morning. I was like, fuck the morning. We could get down now and the morning. Like, I was so stuck on wanting to get down with them. Fighting in a cell. Fighting, period. Fist fighting is not allowed. Period. He's a paisa. I'm not supposed to, this ain't supposed to be happening. This could create an issue. But I was buzzed. No, I was drunk. I was an asshole. I was arrogant. And I had a whole lot of hate, right? And so I persisted. And then eventually, I got on my rack and went to sleep. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand that paisa huayno, in no way was he a coward. That paisa huayno was smart enough to know if we got into it, I don't know who would have won. Everybody wants to think they can whoop everybody, right? And I can tell you that my mind state was I was gonna wreck him. Is that true? I don't know. That's why you fight. You fight to find out, right? But see, I was used to YA. I knew we weren't supposed to fight, but I was drunk, and I just kept thinking this vato's a snake. If they jam me up, hey, why you do that? I'm gonna be like, hey, this vato's fucking a snake. He tried to get me to fucking get high. That was gonna be my excuse, right? But it wasn't gonna be good enough. Wino knew if we got down, we were probably gonna get whacked. And he also knew I was a younger homie, and I was drunk, right? So in the morning, I did feel bad. I felt bad. I was like, damn, you know. I called him a little kid. I treated him fucked up. So now I got to see where this is going to go. He gets up in the morning. We get up, we wash up and everything. We go to chow, we come back, and he's like, hey, Celly. I said, what's up? He said, you know, in C-section, he goes, there's a paisa that lives with one of your homies. I want to bring the paisa over here. Do you mind moving in with your homie? I said, nah, make it happen. I knew that me and him, we were never going to be cool again. But how cool could I be with somebody that he was cool as fuck, man? He was humble as hell. We were only Celly's a week or two. This vato would make knives. Like he was a go-getter. He was a hustler, right? But the fact that he sought out people to get strung out, that he wanted to ruin people's lives, that was a goal of his, made it to where the best bet was for us to separate. But I knew that day, when I woke up that morning and I remembered what I had done, what I had said to him, how I had treated him, I was grateful that he didn't get off his rack. And I told myself, I can never, ever drink again. I never thought I was going to get out of prison. So I said, never drink. I'm either going to kill somebody or get killed. Neither outcome was good. And it wasn't worth it when it's over. Bisto, right? Bisto. I said bisto. Bisto. And I know there's going to be people that are like, what, you know, hey, Dubs, you drink now. I drink now, and we'll end on that. I was out, when I paroled, I was out 18 months. Didn't touch alcohol. Had zero interest in it. I used to play Call of Duty. I would play Call of Duty for hours. I loved it because when I was a kid, I never had video games. I never had shit. I used to be in prison, and when they were talking about letting me go, I was like, I want one of those PlayStations, right? It was the kid in me, but it was like, I want one of those. If they let me out, I'm getting one of those. I got out and I did, and I met this dude, Money was smashing everybody in the lobbies that I would get into. For some reason, I always wound up, it was like 2 or 3 lobbies that, you know, different days I wound up in the same lobbies with him. How? I used to be I just want to get 2 kills. Just let me get 2 kills. I used to get killed left and right. Money was the one always running the lobby. That vato sent me a friend request. I didn't know what the fuck it was. I accepted it, and then I met through him other really good friends that were friends to this day, right? But like on a Friday, they would drink. We would be playing, and they would, hey, you guys gonna, hey, go get some beers or whatever, you know, and they would drink. And I remember thinking one day, I was like, this is when I was still in San Diego. There was a 7-Eleven like 2 blocks away. And I remember thinking about it while I was playing. I was like, you know what? When I used to drink before, I was a horrible drunk. But I was a horrible drunk because I was angry. I was hurt. I was insecure. And I was like, now I'm none of those things. I'm very happy. I have love and peace in my heart. You know, I don't have issue. I don't have any grudges, you know. And I was curious, and I told who I was married to at that time, I said, hey, I'm gonna go get a 6-pack. She was like, what? You don't even drink? I said, yeah, I want to test it out. She goes, all right. She goes, but see, I had told her about my past, and she goes, just don't get drunk and beat up the neighbors. And I started laughing. I said, nah, I don't think that's going to happen. Let's find out. So I tell my crew, you know, I got the headset and everything. I say, I'm going to go grab a 6-pack. They were all excited. What? Hell yeah, go get it. I went, got the 6-pack, came back. I drank that 6-pack, played video games, laughed my ass off all night, had a great time. And I knew I was a changed man by the way I was able to handle my alcohol. So anyways, we'll end it on that. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, share the video, leave a comment. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.